Man, am I live right now? Let's see, I'm just testing something out right now. I don't know if anybody hear me. Anybody out there? Okay. Well, let me see. Oh, it might not be working. This motherfucker might not be working. Oh, wait a minute. There's somebody out there. Or was that Dr. T? Oh, what's up, Dr. T? Okay, I was testing this new thing out, but I didn't know if it was working. Can you hear me? I ain't got the mic. What up? Damn, everybody just jumped in hella hard. What up, man? Hey, can y'all hear me, though? Because I ain't got the mic hooked up right now. Oh, it's working. Okay, all right. Go hard, gun god. What's up? Loud and clear. Okay, yeah, man. Hey, man. Hey, go hard. You out there? That truck? I heard the trucking's hard right now out there. Okay, we hear you, Dr. T. Right on, Dr. T. How you been doing, Dr. T? Oh, man, I just got back. We went to the Po' Boy Festival. I'm in New Orleans, so this weekend I've been doing the little festivals. What's going on here? Let's see, Dr. T. Awesome. You say you're doing awesome. Okay. Yeah, everybody doing awesome. That's good. Shit. Did anybody do anything exciting this weekend or something? Let's see here. It's rough for most, but I'm on a dedicated account, so I'm good. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm doing well. Yeah, I'm just trying out this new little stand right here. But I'm trying to see if some people will build up. Can y'all hit the like button? I think it's like 5 of y'all up in here. Hit the like button. Get the likes up. Because that's how it works for us. I was gonna talk about YouTube a little bit right now. We got 7 people in here. Hit the like button when y'all come up in here. Yeah, because I just want to explain a couple of things what I'm figuring out along the way on this YouTube thing, because I don't know really how much longer I'm gonna do it. I mean, I want to do it for a while, but it's like I'm just want to explain a few things. Yeah, hit the like button because it helps. There's a lot of really great content creators out there, and like I said, I mean, I'm kind of lumped in with. If you see the camera jump, it's because I'm messing around with this. I'm lumped in with the gun tuber community. Good evening. Who is this? More the child. I got my glasses on right now. More the child. Okay, yeah. Good evening. Whatever. Hit the like button when you come in, though. I was just tripping off like how not like I'm really overly concerned. What's happening? What it do YouTube? Yeah. What it do? Yeah. What it do YouTube? Yeah, I know. Yeah. But I was tripping off like, man, they don't really seem to really be that supportive of. I mean, I don't want to really go personal and say gun tubers, because that's really generally basic. Hit the like button when you come in. To be honest with you, if you want to help this keep going, because I was noticing like the morning I woke up, I went to the Beignet Fest yesterday, and it said this many subscribers. And then when I got home later in that day, it was down 10. I'm like, how am I down 10 subscribers? But so I mean, I don't understand why they do that to people who is not doing anything really against YouTube guidelines. But when they say YouTube guidelines, it's really, really, really very subjective. Can y'all hear me pretty good? What religion do you follow? Man, look, I follow God. How about that? I believe in God. Who is that? Definitely hard to keep going on YouTube. They hate us gun tubers. Yeah, they do. I mean, I don't know if they, can y'all hear me pretty good? Should I get my mic? But either way, it just seems really weird how they hate on people that like don't even say anything like crazy or nothing. And then you turn on they ban Glocks in California. Oh man, yeah, they ban Glocks. Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, everybody can hear me. That's good, loud and clear. Okay, good. So you're in a monolith, a monolith. What man does you want to do religion thing? It goes up and down. Just keep going. Dr. T, you right. It does go up and down. Hit the like button when y'all come in. But I was just saying that, I mean, not really from a monetization standpoint. I'm not, I mean, be honest with you, man, a lot of people may not notice. I spend more money on my own personal gun stuff than I make on YouTube. It's just that I decided to, like, save a few bucks up off the YouTube the monetization and then use that on guns. I started thinking like, well, the money I make from it, why not just spend that on guns and not spend my own money on guns and ammo? And that seems to be giving me a little bit more, I guess you can say, comfort. The reason why I'm looking up because I'm watching the game in my backyard, but I don't want to show the game because they might say I'm trying to like make money off showing the NFL. So I think right now we got the Ravens 23-16, Steelers won, so ready to go Steelers. But yeah, man, I just don't like how they really messing with my channel because if anybody saw my last video I did, well, not last video, but I did a video on the Overwatch Precision trigger shoe, and I even, if you watch that video, some people don't really watch the whole video, so they just click on and support you and go like rah rah rah, and I'm fine with that. But if you watch the whole video, I cut all the parts out of me actually machining and working on it, putting the trigger shoe in and all that kind of stuff. It was just, and I actually said it's for educational purposes, but they still sent me this nasty email saying like, if you do this again, we're gonna strike your channel and all that stuff. I was like, man, whatever. And I actually replied back like, I don't give a shit. Fuck you guys, man. If you want to block my channel, whatever. And then they walked it back and said like, well, we're just gonna limit it to certain monetization levels, and they kind of walked it back. But they actually they told me I had to take it down, but I took it down. That's why if you go my library, you won't see that video no more. But I was just trying to show somebody how, like, if you was trying to remove a trigger shoe, I wasn't saying go buy it and do all this kind of stuff, and that's what makes me kind of nervous about oh, what's up? Okay, all right, I hear you, man. Yeah, hit the like button, man. I appreciate everybody, man. Silver and Black, I'm in the building. I appreciate y'all, man. Yeah, hey, Silver and Black, you a moderator? Yeah, let's make sure we all got the moderators up in here. You was on the big gun tubers go through it. Yeah, they do. Yeah, your content is helping others. You can talk about anything. Keep your following. Yeah, you're right, Dr. T, man. I hear you, man. But let's see what else we got here. I'm a new viewer. Okay, yeah, hit the like and subscribe, man. But what I was saying was this. More importantly, what I was saying is that I'm really trying to be honest with all the stuff I'm doing on my content creating. And so if somebody's new, like they can learn something, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not really coming from perspective of like monetization especially on these lives. And I hear the lives is where you're supposed to make all the money. I'm like, wow, I don't even do the lives for money. I do the lives because it's fun and it's spontaneous. But at the same time, when I do my videos, a lot of my videos just be excitement for me, just, buying a gun and doing something to it and sharing how I went through the process and all this kind of stuff. It's not even a whole monetization thing, but they make it hard for you just to have fun. So I was just wondering, like, what do you guys think about, like, far as like where are we gonna go with I guess the next level of free speech? You know what I'm saying? Like, free public media. It seems like it's gonna be easy, but I mean, I'm an old guy, but I'm just saying for the young kids coming up, will they actually have a platform, or I don't a platform that's kind of overused too, but will they have any outlet that would just allow them to just be who they are, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of disturbing. Like they monitoring everything, and if you say something, boom. I read something the other day, man. I don't know if y'all heard about this. Now I'm kind of sliding a little bit off this, but who is this right here? Gun Guy. Yeah, I get to a limit if you're doing something illegal, but they flag stupid basic stuff in maintenance or simple part install, and that doesn't affect it does. It's right. I mean, and what's crazy is that they're flagging gun tubers who are all taxpayers. Hit the like button when y'all come in. All taxpayers and all And a lot of the guys on GunTube, they're FFL holders. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna tell you they are, but they are, man. A lot of I know 2A in LA, he's a FFL. I know What the Kicks. Y'all all follow What the Kicks, you know what I'm saying? You know, what am I carrying today? Yeah, that dude's a damn shit. I knocked this whole thing. Oh god damn, I messed all this shit. Okay, here I am. Yeah, What the Kicks, he's a FFL holder. Damn, I messed up, my bad. Yeah, he's a FFL holder. What's up, Alert Zone? And a lot of these guys be FFL holders that really have a lot of really incredible firearms, stuff like that, and they flag they stuff. So I'm thinking like, well, if you're gonna flag an FFL holder, then I mean, it's like it's crazy, really. Like, so you know, because I noticed, I know I ain't gonna say his name, but there's somebody was trying to get a commercial. You know, like I guess he was on a production on a Glock trying to get a commercial, and they were like, no, we don't want that commercial. And I'm thinking like, well, wait a minute, but they allow games to be sold like Call of Duty and you know and Grand Theft Auto. They allow all that, but they won't let, and that's video, and that's kind of like you know gaming, but they don't allow people who actually handling real guns to speak on like the responsibility of owning guns and the importance of maintenance, how to you know how to make the gun shootable, knowing your gun laws. The Alert Zone tapped in just a second ago. He's very good on his channel about talking about like traveling your states, like Go Hard Tactics and all these guys who travel and drive trucks, and they're telling you like, hey man, look, when you traveling, you need to know the gun laws and this and stuff, capacity. You know, Cook County don't allow a laser in your gun, so somebody from Louisiana can go up to Chicago and have a laser in their gun, and they don't even know they in a federal violation. But if they was watching GunTube, they might have learned that. And so I just find that really just fuck man. It's really disheartening that like they don't even want people to be educated on, and it just goes to show that's how it always been. The more you know, the less they want you to tell people, so they can stay dumb and they can criminalize you. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of it sucks. I took your advice and I got the whole Tamer grip. Oh yeah, pistol. Oh, you got that one on that Mossberg Cruiser? 20 times better. I appreciate you tapping in. It's kind of weird that it's alive because, you know, yeah, what's up, my brother? Okay, I hear you, man. Was that Ronnie Vassar? Yeah, Ronnie, cool. Okay, I was also from Kandahar, Afghanistan. Okay, Kandahar. I ain't got nothing. Hey, I love it. I one of my best friends. Let me tell you a quick story. Like, since you said that, I'm frustrated. I'll tell you that much. I know you frustrated, Silver and Black, 'cause you got some good stuff. Yo, what's up, Isaiah? So, yeah, but man, let me tell you about one of my first encounters with somebody from Afghanistan. This is probably about 1983 in the Bay Area, and I was just moved from Chicago and transferred into this middle school. One of my good friends, Ahmed Harput, and well, to make a long story short, he was born in Afghanistan, but his parents were born in Turkey. And make a long story short, but they came over here because Afghanistan was under Russia was attacking all them, and this is in '82, and he told us all the stuff that was going on. To make a long story short, that fool ended up opening up a huge shoe empire. I wouldn't say empire, but it was a big shoe store in the Bay Area. And if anybody grew up in the Bay Area between '82 and like '94, they know Harput Sports. It was called HARPUTS, Harput Sports, and they had a store on Market Street, right down from the jean factory. They had all the Jabot jeans, wholesale, and they were all Arabs and Muslims and people from all in the regions. And they had all all the urban clothing wear. And so in the Bay Area, we all kind of saw it coming that they were going to be the ones that's going to bring in all the urban clothing because they were, you know, they had all the fabrics and they knew how to stitch and sew, and it was crazy. But anyway, my buddy I went to high school with, he was from Afghanistan, and his parents, they would buy all the shoes from Nike and stuff like that, and then go to the flea market and get them all. So yeah, man, I have a lot of love for Afghanistan for sure. My brother, did you say anything about my Mossberg 590 pistol grip? Put the rubber hole grip on, and then from looking at your videos, it makes a big difference. Hell yeah! Oh yeah. That 590, yeah. My father also was a micro raw PMA, but yeah, that man, yeah. But man, let me get back on what I was trying to get in with this live. This is what's interesting. What I see what's going on is, for the most part, as we progress, and then make sure y'all hit that like button when y'all come up in here, man. And anybody, how many people are watching this? I don't know how to figure that part out. How many are watching and how many likes? Because we got to get the likes up. But I was telling you, down here in Louisiana, and this is kind of interesting. Yo, what's up with Great Warrior Defense? What up, man? I appreciate you tapping in. But what I was getting at is that, what I noticed what's going down here in Louisiana, particularly, I'm gonna stay right here. They bringing this AI down here big time. Tech is coming in. Greg Landry, Governor Landry, is bringing all the tech in. They built a big AI plant. I'm seeing a lot of AI being introduced down here. Okay, 18 watching, 17 likes. Okay, all right, that's fine. I'm good. You got okay. I appreciate y'all, Silver and Black, and go hard. But I noticed the tech, the AI, and here's what I found out was a big flaw on the AI. So y'all know I get the facial recognition. What I noticed is that people don't look the same the whole time. Because I was looking at some old pictures of myself, like on my Facebook, and I was like, damn, I don't look that. I look kind of the same. I didn't really, you know what I'm saying? Motherfucker didn't age that bad, but it's like, how is facial recognition gonna be the all to do to recognize in people? Like that's scary. And also you got to think about it. China been buying DNA and been DNA. So in China, I don't know if anybody noticed, in China, when you born in China, your DNA is taken by the Republic, flat off. So that is kind of a thing in America because it's called child record of birth, but it's getting gonna get weird because really there is really no facial recognition when you think about it. And I know people watching saying like, "Oh yeah, it is. You look the same." No, if you think about it, as you age and as you get older, everything change and this and that. If you smoke, like I got bad teeth. My teeth don't look the same as they looked when I was 17. And so how are you gonna really go off complete facial recognition, and then DNA can get skeptical because someone can just take your DNA and stick it over here and say like, oh, you was over there. And that's been going on for a long time so far since they've been using DNA. So this can get really weird with the AI in combination with DNA and all that. And then the DNA swabs, like, I'm saying, we got to swab you and then put you in a database and then generate. And it's like, well, that's fine and dandy if you swabbing the motherfucker right now at live time, and then you got them right in front of you again, and you can prove that DNA when you swabbed them the first time that's the same DNA. Otherwise, they can just pin anything on you, man. Like this is gonna get crazy. That's why I be telling people like, man, like if you had never ever been a criminal in your life, and your dumb ass is sitting at home trying to hatch up a plan, like, what I'm saying, like if you one of these people that like, you watch a whole lot of Ocean's 11, you know what I'm saying? You watch a whole lot of bank robbing movies and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Uh, this is not the time to pull this shit off because you are probably gonna have leave all kind of evidence all over the fucking place, DNA, touch evidence, all this stuff, and even if you even remotely close and you can't have nobody prove, and people, and now my kids even my kids even say this, like it's like, damn, Dad, I remember you used to say we used to get in your car and they'll come and get, because we always had two cars, and so they jump in my car sometimes or whatever, and they'll be like, why you got all these receipts laying all around? And I used to have that way back in the day because I always want to have a little proof, a little physical proof where I was when I bought something and did something, even though it was paid by a credit card. It didn't make a difference to me because I was that paranoid back then. Well, I wouldn't even say paranoid, but I just knew that the system it could work against you real quick. But I couldn't really portray it to my family that I was paranoid. But that's how I always operate, man. I'll always keep a digital, physical carbon print of where I'm at, And I noticed in Louisiana. Hold on a second, man. Let me get. Yeah, I noticed in Louisiana they want you to all be on LA Wallet, and then so I'm like, yeah, I like LA Wallet too. But guess what? I got my real physical driver's license. I mean, I ain't about to be giving handing my phone to a cop and let him scan off my phone. Man, you crazy, man. No. Here go my hard copy license. Boom. Here's my gun permit. Boom. Here go. I ain't, man. I mean, yeah, I got LA Wallet, but that's only for like, that's an emergency stress situation when you don't have the hard copy. But I ain't trying to rely on none of that stuff, man. That's just crazy. But I'm telling you right now, the AI, y'all gonna remember this video because there's gonna get people gonna get caught up in AI facial recognition, and they had nothing to do with it because it's really easy to manipulate if you think about it. Like think about it. I mean, you can put makeup and mask and do this, and people, and then on some of these, remember we got people changing their gender. I ain't gonna go there too deep because we got a lot of people who in that community probably watching this and they gonna think like, oh man, he about to go in on us. I ain't about to go in on the L plus community. I'm just saying, but the L plus community is known for changing how they look and doing different things, just like the skinny jean mafia. You got the skinny jean mafia running around. A lot of times that don't even be men. That don't, and first of all, it don't even be the YNs. Sometimes that be the YCs. That's why on my last video I was trying to tell y'all these YCs, they running around with the hoodies, dark masks, the poo shiesties, and they white kids, but they looking like the YN, so that it's easy for somebody to say like, oh yeah, there they go again. Or in the transgender community, they got criminal people too, and people don't want to recognize that, and that's a big factor. What's going on? People not showing their face is a big part of it now in the criminal world, and that's why when I see people with like ski masks and poo shiesties and running around like this and stuff, man, I'm like really like, nope, I'm not going that way, nope, and then don't get close to me. I'm clutching, like, okay, what you got? You know what I'm saying? So it's because I'm showing my face where I go. I ain't trying to hide. You know what I'm saying? But I think we gonna be the ones that AI is gonna play off of. They're gonna take our regular, normal, tax-paying faces, and then they're gonna be able to manipulate us against criminals and stuff like that, and do different things. I just really believe that, and that's why you're gonna start seeing a lot of people like not really going out. It's almost like discouraging people to go outside now, man. It's gonna be interesting because everybody know they on camera, and the criminals ain't really tripping off being on camera. We all know that. So where are they getting all the AI technology at? They're not getting it from the regular law-abiding citizens. They're getting it off people who are constantly in the streets doing shit, perpetuating like an image. Oh, what's up with the KP8? I see you, bro. What's up, bro? DI's in the house. Okay. Who we got? Trey 57. Okay, get a rope. Yeah, okay, I hear you. Do you have a plan on how to destroy the hard copy so I can use? I heard that. Hey, if I had the answer on that, I traveled to New Delhi, India, to Istanbul, Turkey, and the random state in the U.S. called Kansas, I think. Okay, oh, hopefully jumping spider. Okay, crazy. I was crazy. Once they locked me in a room, in a rubber room, and then filled me with rats and Well, okay, made you crazy. Okay, hey, man. I'm sorry to hear that. Everybody should own a yellow umbrella, right? Steelers won. Yeah, they did. AI is super manipulative. You right, DIs. AI is super manipulative, and what I'm getting at, they're not using the best of the best. They're using the worst of the worst. So they're feeding. It just it's not really new AI, but now that they're got billions of dollars behind it, so now they get to just gathering all this information off regular ass people. That's the part that's good and bad because there's going to be some real in it. But the bad part, they're not going to get the real information from people who are doing the good, because people who are doing good things, they usually don't walk around down the streets 2 or 3 in the morning. And that's where AI is gathering all the information. They're gathering it from news reporters. They're gathering it from just average encounters with human contact. They're not really getting it from an actual nuclear family. And when I say nuclear family, in case somebody don't know, I'm not talking about nuclear weapons. I'm talking about like mom, dad, all their children. One mom and dad only had one set of children with each other. They didn't have 5 children by 5 different dads, or the dad had 5 kids by. That's not a nuclear family. That's a dysfunctional, crazy ass situation that could be okay and could be very healthy and can plan out very well. But what I'm talking about, the nuclear family is supposed to be like opposite gender meet, fall in love, get married, have a family, raise kids under proper, nourishment, all that, blah, 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 and follow the path. But now you got all these people that are being trained to be single, and not really value uh, being in love. To be honest with you, there's not a lot of value of couples being in love. It's a lot of like instant gratitude, like this and that and the other. So the government, I think they're feeding off that right now, and AI is going to completely feed off that. They're going to regurgitate all this stuff, and they're going to generate it back to the kids coming up, and make kids believe that they don't really have to be married and have a family and build things together as a relationship, so to speak. They're gonna have these kids being like solo artists, so to speak. And I grew up with a bunch of solo artists back in the '80s. And let me tell you, the solo artists, they don't really turn out that well. Because boy, 'cause it sounds good on paper when you solo, but man, when you start getting older and you start looking around, like whoa, 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 and then you realize you ain't even been in a relationship with no woman, man, whatever. You ain't been with nothing, and you ain't got no kids on deck, no grandkids on deck, no nothing, no backyard barbecues, no deck. You ain't got none of that. You gonna realize that yeah, your motherfucking ass, and you definitely ain't AI. You ain't AI worthy because you ain't got nothing to bring to the table. But that's real world. That ain't AI. So we didn't really need AI because the AI is going to generate a falsehood of how it is, but they ain't gonna know that ain't how it's supposed to be. You supposed to have a little built-in community, to have fun and do things with, and generate love and stuff like that. And AI ain't gonna have that. AI gonna be a machine. AI gonna be like just cutthroat, just eating you up. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I think this AI shit gonna be crazy. Now it ain't gonna affect me, but I'm just saying I'm just sitting back watching shit play out. You know what I'm saying? Man, shout out to Xavier. You know what I'm saying? Ranked number 6 on HBCU colleges in America. You know what I'm saying? Let's give it up to Xavier. Okay, message yeah. Okay, yeah. We got some trolls? Okay. Oh, some trolls up in here. Okay, I'm not a big fan of AI, but I'm definitely invested in this. Yeah, man. Of course, man. Of course, that's what I'm saying. Silver and black. I mean, that's what I'm saying. You, it's money in it. That's what I'm saying. I'm telling you, Louisiana is about to build. I think, man. Don't even get me started. I think it's $8 billion AI data center up in near Ruston, Louisiana. 8 billion. Man, that's $8 billion. 8 billion. And then if they say 8 billion, what that it's gonna be way more than 8 billion, because that's just a starting number. It's gonna probably be around 13 billion when they get done with this shit. So my stepmom got stuck in the dryer. What the hell? Hell, it's been. I don't know. Well, trolls will be funny, bro. Yeah. We gonna have trolls, but hey, that's why I got moderators. Di's, are you a moderator? Is Di's a moderator? Oh, hold on. Di's. That is a moderator. Okay, D. So all right, Di's, you a moderator. Start getting him up out of here. Yeah, get him up out of here. Be safe, everyone. Bars. Oh yeah, Dallas food. What's going on, Dallas? I hear you. I just made you one, Diaz. You in there? Hell yeah, Dallas. But hey, man, let me just tell y'all real quick. You're a real YouTuber when you get trolls. Yeah, you definitely. You're hello from the Atlantic. Okay, I hear you. Wait, 100, man. Is it cold out there in the Atlantic? Can I be one? Who is this? Well, carelesser. I don't know, man. I don't even know you that well. We'll figure out later on. Yeah, man. Let me talk about something real quick though. Man, this penny thing is bothering me, man. The 1 cent. Y'all heard about the 1 cent going away, and let me tell you right now, this shit is pissing me off because the penny. I'm gonna take this personal. I grew up with the penny. We used to pitch pennies. And we used to use pennies for all kind of things. Man, I go back to the Crown Royal bag. You put the pennies, you count your pennies, and go down to the store, get penny candy. We had penny candy. I mean, I'm an OG, you know what I'm saying? And I just think that the fact that they getting rid of the penny, because I guess the word in the street is, from Fort Knox, Kentucky, they saying that it takes more money to produce the penny than what it's worth. Well, that wasn't the point. You dumb motherfuckers. First of all, I don't know if anybody know this. The currency is always going to be off by 1 penny anyway. This whole thing is a Ponzi scheme. And let me tell you right now, they just pushed the envelope on the Ponzi scheme right now because now they saying they're gonna take away the penny. And if you ain't paying attention when you go to the store, like let's say something's like, you know, uh, let's say something's 13 cents or 17 cents. Well, they gonna charge you 20 cents or or 15 cents. It's like it's sometimes they'll take 3 cents from you or they'll give you 3 cents. I'm like, well, how is your books gonna balance with these kind of numbers? Because I used to be a checker at a Trader Joe's back in my younger days, and I was like, and our drawers had to be down to the penny. We used to count the drawers out like 10, well, 10, 9, all that kind of shit. And now you tell me that now that don't matter? Like, man, that's crazy to me that you really gonna eliminate the fucking penny. Do you know how iconic the fucking penny is? That every kid back in the day, maybe you all young kids, y'all didn't do it, but we all collected pennies and get the different ones. And then some of them back in the day, they were made of copper, and you try to get all the years in a row. Like I got a penny from 70 to 70 to 80 or 80 to 90. You try to get every penny for each year, and you collect all your pennies and stuff. And then people in the stores would give you you take people's groceries to the car. Back in the day when I lived in Chicago, we used to go to the grocery stores, make a little hustle, and to carry people's groceries to their car. They'll give you a handful of change. There'd be a lot of pennies in it, but it all added up. And you can still go to the store and get candy and stuff like that. I'm just think that's fucking wild as fuck, man. Either I'm living a good life, that I live to see all this crazy ass shit, or this shit is fucked up. It's got to be one or the other. But I don't know how that worked out because I was at Academy and I threw a whole shitstorm over like 4 cents because they basically, well, I don't know what my bill was, but they basically tried to get me for 3 pennies. And just said no, it's $20, like it was 1997 or something like that, and they charged me 20. I said, well, wait a minute, it says 1997, but you didn't. I gave you a $20 bill, and you didn't give me no money back. And she said, oh, we don't have pennies no more. I went like, bitch, wait, what? I ain't say bill. I said, well, look, listen. Well, that's y'all problem. You need to have a little bucket on the side for me when I come in because I need my 3 pennies back. Fuck that shit. And I made a big old stink. And then, of course, the lady came out and then she had a little drawer. She gave me 3 cents. Yes, sir, this is the way it is. Like, and it gave me my little 3 pennies. And I was trying to tell the little young girl, I said, man, it ain't about what the policy is. It's about, like, I work hard for my money and I want all my money. I don't want y'all to tell me my 3 cents don't matter. Fuck that shit, man. See, that this is why I'm trying to, man, look, this is why shit crazy. Y'all better watch out. They're going to start just automatically just start dinging you on shit. The bank's already digging your pocket already, charging you to use the fucking ATM over here, 50-cent charge on this. I don't need nobody taking the penny away. That's ridiculous to me, man. That's crazy. Okay, hi, whatever. Who's this Abdullah person, man? Can y'all get this motherfucker out? We got any more moderators up in here? How many people we got watching this still? That makes the penny. Then they make the penny out of something. Yeah, when they rip off the people of the 3 pennies, imagine flipping off the million peoples now. It's a lot. Man, that's a lot of money. I mean, you got to really think about that. Like, and you got stores like Walmart all on board, gas stations all on board, Chevrons, all these. Oh, man, this penny thing is a thing, man. And I'm just saying, is anybody fucking paying attention to this shit? This doesn't seem absolutely right at all. Like, you just gonna just get me for 3 pennies, and that's why I like buying guns. So let me get back to that. So when you buy a gun, it don't come down to 3 pennies. I'm gonna tell you right now, the good thing about buying guns is that you'll never have to worry about the 3 cent thing, the penny thing. I can tell you that right now. I can guarantee you ain't never gonna have to worry about that part. You know, the gun shop, nobody's gonna sting you for 5 pennies and say like, oh man, no, we can't give it to you, whatever. Man, get the hell out of here. That's the most ridiculous thing I've heard in my life. Well, I don't even know what's next. Now, moving forward though, I'm gonna tell you what's about to happen right now. If y'all ain't really super paying attention right now, this is what you about to see right now moving forward. It's already moving forward, like it's new. It ain't really all new. I'm just putting the game on right now. This is what's going on right now. I don't know if y'all don't even pay attention to this new move. It ain't even a new move, man. It ain't even a new move. What they want is to make cars, automobiles, auto insurance, period, parking, uh, unattainable in America. That's been a new move because if you look at it, all these realty groups, these hedge fund companies that's buying all this property up in all these areas that are very disenfranchised. There's nobody building nothing new there, and the properties all ran down, broken down buildings and stuff like that. But why is all these motherfucking like multi-million-dollar hedge fund companies are coming way down to this little rural area or this lower inner city area, metro area, buying up these properties, and then they buy the property, and then nothing happens for years because they're about to blackline that area. And what I think was what I know was going on. See, it was a time when the people relied on mass transit. And anybody who lived in the metropolitan area, grew up in metro, they know what I'm talking about. There was a time when people actually rode the bus. To work, not for no frivolous activities, to work, to a fucking job or federal job, because it was mostly people who worked, who had a job with not a higher learning education. They worked for the feds. They were either a civil employee, federal employee, or a state employee, or a municipal employee. And all those jobs are based off the bus line, or the train, or L train, like in Chicago, or subway. But so now with the new America, the way they building it now, they not fucking with that no more. So what's gonna happen is you're gonna see people in driverless cars, driverless shuttles, and all these type of technologies. They about to push this shit through because they pretty much have made automobile purchasing almost it's not even affordable. If anybody who ever tried to go buy a car, like, don't even believe me, go, even if you make good money and you watching this live video, and if you just went to an auto dealership and said, let me just see what I can potentially buy, and if you had a really decent little income, you'd be like, holy fucking cow, this shit is expensive. I'm not ready for this. Yeah, you're not ready for this at all. Man, automobiles are so expensive, and then the auto insurance, and the premiums and the interest. And then and then if you live in an area where you ain't even got off-street parking, they are attacking you literally daily on these areas that are crucial to raising a family or getting your kids to school and stuff like that. And they're making it nearly impossible. And that's what I'm saying. They're trying to defeat any energy of anybody that's trying to build a family and live life the right way. They want your ass just like basically being by yourself, because if you by yourself, you're not as powerful. But if you got a family, you got power. If you got kids and a family and a wife and stuff like that, you got power. But if you ain't got no community built around you, like you're just a person just living a life out there on the open, and pretty much you can just be taken out or whatever, or you can just disappear and nobody really miss you. And so that's what I see was what I feel sad for. Like a lot of young people, like they try to say, I'm living my best life, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Well, there's a price to pay with that, because if you don't got a lot of people looking out for you, I don't know, man. Like, how you gonna get around somebody looking out? How you gonna get around all the other obstacles that's gonna come your way? You know what I'm saying? And that's what the nuclear family was about. I grew up with all those good eras where everybody had both parents in the house, hella siblings and brothers and sisters, cousins, and stuff like that. And you just don't see that no more. Is it still there? Yeah, it's still there, but you don't see it like per capita. It's went down. What do you think about Trump giving American people $2,000 check? Well, we've seen that before. I mean, they've always gave stimulus checks and stuff like that. $2,000, I don't think that's going to do too much. Even I think for a street person that's living in a cardboard box underneath the bus station, yeah, the $2,000 might get that person, opportunity to do a couple things that they couldn't done in the last 48 hours. But after a week or so, even that person, that money's gone. Now, if you get that $2,000 to somebody that knew how to do capital investment or how to flip that money into something else bigger, it could be a really big thing. But for the most part, no, I don't think $2,000 in today's climate, it could definitely do an impact on anybody that's really, really poor. You know what I'm saying? Some of these rural areas like in Mississippi, down here in the South, Louisiana, Mississippi, and some really, really treacherous, poor areas, 2 grand is a lot. Don't get it twisted. But by the time they had to go travel to spend the 2,000, by the time they got back, because a lot of really poor and how do you say underdeveloped and unincorporated areas, they don't live right around the corner for a Walmart. I think a lot of people who live in metro areas, one of their biggest mistakes, they think everybody has a Walmart around the corner. No, that's not the case. There's a lot of people that live like at least a 25-minute drive up and back to the closest Walmart, and the prices are not the same because they're serving a more wide range of population people. So their price is going to be a little bit more expensive, believe it or not, versus a Walmart in the metropolitan area. So yeah, 2 grand is a lot, depending on where you put the 2 grand at. I would say that. Yep, you said you right 100. Yeah, more people need to be woke. What's going on? Than going and yeah, instead of like talking. Yeah, right. You think the Bourbon Street hype will die in the coming years, and how do you think less tourism will affect? You think Lock reset their reliability standards? Well, let me start with let me do the Bourbon Street thing. Yeah, the Bourbon Street tourism thing, it's still pretty strong in my personal opinion, but no, it's not. It's just slowly declining because what you have now, like I said, you have groups of people now that are entitled to what they expect out of their experiences. So you have people that go to Bourbon Street and all they're doing is just doing selfies and doing this, doing that, and so what they're not really, so to speak, embracing New Orleans, and they're not embracing the French Quarter. Like they're not learning about the past, the French Quarter and all, good or bad. I mean, if you're gonna be going touring somewhere as a tourist, and I'm replying to this comment to this guy, like if you're gonna be touring somewhere, it's important for you to know the actual history of where you're touring and understand the history, and then you can have fun still. But to ignore the history and to still have fun, you kind of maybe didn't get as much as you could have got out of it. That's just my personal opinion. I don't think everybody has to have that opinion. But for me, when I go places, I try to find out what the history, like like I had a lady ask me, when I was in at work, she said like, why is that courthouse over here on Royal in St. Louis? If you've ever been in New Orleans in the French Quarter and you go to Royal in St. Louis, right across from Brennan's restaurant in the Omni Hotel and the Royal House Oyster Bar, kind of cat a corner is the state. It used to be the old state courthouse, but now it's the city courthouse. Well, she was asking me like, why is that right here in the French Quarter? And I said, well, ma'am, at one point, New Orleans was the capital of the state of Louisiana up until like, I believe 1894. Don't quote me. Somebody can fact check that, but I believe like it was founded as a state capital. Okay, and then eventually they moved to Baton Rouge. And so when they built the Baton Rouge Capitol Courthouse, they left that courthouse there, and it became like a city Supreme Court, so to speak. So anyway, and she was like, "Oh, I didn't know that." And so I just find it interesting. Like that was just an example I want to give that like people don't understand. And then I had another date. One day, this guy was telling me, he said, "Hey man, why is it in the French Quarter like there's the restaurants on the bottom, and then on top it like there's some places that they'll have a bar, and then some places it's boarded up." And I said, well, it depends on what street you're walking on, because if you're on Bourbon Street, both sections will be occupied to a certain degree, but if you're on Royal Street, some will be Airbnbs, and then and on Bourbon Street, if the restaurant had both levels, they'll have a balcony or whatever. But there's only 2 or 3 places on Bourbon Street that has a balcony on top and bottom. So there's a lot of things because a lot of people don't know the history. And so I'm just saying this to say that history matters. It doesn't matter how you feel about it, but you should be always educated on why things are the way they are. And particularly when you're down here where I'm at in the South, some people may not be that curious of the history, to be honest with you. That's what I see. So that's just my answer on that. What's up, man? Oh, DIs, yeah. I was amazing. Dex said, yeah. Nola is really old. compared to most U.S. cities. Yes, it is. It was wonderful. Yeah, I to did a gun range. One question: what do you do if someone leaves a briefcase with $50,000 at your house? Man, first of all, that's kind of very hypothetical, but always wanted to go to Mardi Gras. Yeah, Mardi Gras is awesome. History is one of the great things about New Orleans. Yes, it is. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm here to say what's up, homie. Okay. Oh, what's up, Bobby Dynamite? I was just talking about someone asked about New Orleans and like the tourism and what is it like being that I've been here before I moved here recently, Bobby Dynamite. Thanks for jumping in. And I'm just saying it's not quite the same because now we're in a different era in America. I was here when I came visit a long time ago. It was way before Katrina, and it's not even close to the same. But a part of because things in America don't really stay the same to a certain degree, and I was just elaborating on like when people come to tourist places, they tend not to really want to do a deep dive into the history of the area because they're really there for a specific reason. And I just truly believe, just me, when people come to New Orleans, the first place well, let's make it back it up. When people come to Louisiana, the first destination is New Orleans. Okay, nobody comes to the state of Louisiana other than New Orleans unless they got a relative somewhere else. So the number one stop when you visit Louisiana is New Orleans. And then the first stop is Cafe Du Monde. Then the second stop is the French Quarter, which is Cafe Du Monde. So when people come to the French Quarter, they don't want to hear about, oh yeah, we just trade slaves here, and women used to get raped over art over here, and they don't. That people don't. They don't want to hear all that, so they don't do a deep dive in the French Quarter when they get there. What they want to know is where's the best oyster house, man. Who got the best Bloody Mary? You know what I'm saying, bro? Who got the best daiquiri? And you can't get mad at that because people don't want to. They don't want to go back in time in 1790. They want to look and see aesthetically all the old buildings and stuff like that, but they don't really want to do a deep dive. And that's a lot of old cities in America. It's not just New Orleans. It's Chicago's that same way. It's got a bloody history. I mean, the Italian mob, they murdered a lot of people all up and down Chicago streets. Cicero and with all the Dan Ryan, on the freeway. The Italians, the ones that created the drive-by shooting. That was created by the Italian mob. In New York City, got a lot of bloody history. South Carolina, Georgia, North Carolina, Florida, every part of the colonization of America has a bloody history. In the major metropolitan cities, when people fly in there to spend their money and eat and go to restaurants, they ain't trying to hear that shit. I'm just keeping real me. I just don't think people are trying to hear that. And I know for living down here and I go to the quarter, I don't bring all that up. But if someone want to ask me a question like, who is John Lafitte? Then I'm gonna say, like, man, he was a pirate. He was a slave trader. He was a slave catcher. Boom, 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 boom. Did this, did that, boom, and that's it. If they gonna ask me, but I ain't about to give up all this information. I know the history. My mom was born in Louisiana. I know all the history of the city and the state. So I ain't tripping. But I ain't about to be like giving all this. I don't want to be telling somebody, say, hey, Mister, why is this street called Benneville? Or why is this street called Toulouse? Hey, man, it's a lot of history behind all these street names in New Orleans. And if you want to really know the history, don't ask the wrong person. Like, hey, sir, where's Treme at? Oh, the historic Treme neighborhood. Oh, I want to go see that. You really want to go see that at 10 o'clock at night? You want to go to Treme, really? Where's the old they want to see these places, but they really don't want to know the history. And so for me, I always say this: go do your homework. You go do your history, and then find out, and then do your own thing. But I ain't about to just bust up your whole little vacation with a whole slave story. You know what I'm saying? Because it was a lot of stuff went down in the French Quarter, man. It was an amazing part of history of America, and a lot of stuff went down, and people got to do their own homework. But let me get back up here, man. Say, yeah, there's a real check it. Okay, right on. Dexter with the love. Dexter, you gave me $5. I appreciate that, bro. Okay. Good perspective about NO. I see the change myself. Yeah, it is a big change. Yeah, it's a big change. But every city goes. I mean, man, even Texas, some of those big cities, man, you would think you were in California in some of those cities in Texas, those big cities in Texas, not the countryside, but everybody is moving toward uh, how you say I ain't gonna say liberalism because that's kind of like a cliche and just overused word, but just people just it's like, man, look, I ain't got time for it, man. Like, take it how you want to take it, but I ain't gonna hate on you. So there's more people more accepting to letting people just be who they are, no matter where they at in certain cities, man. It is what it is. But I will say this though, one thing I do like about living in the South is I mean maybe it's just me. I find people to be very kind and very respectful toward others in the general public. In a sense of nobody really looks like they're going out their way to say hello and working hard at it. It kind of comes out really fluid and smooth. And hey baby, how you doing today? Okay, okay. Oh hey mama. Somebody open the door. Even men. Married couple. The man opens the door for another married couple's woman. Okay, baby, I got you right here. And then the dude will be like, "Thank you, sir." And like, "Oh yeah, you got it, man. You got it, baby." And so I do. It's a thing down here. It's still that hospitality is still here. Now, is that to say that there ain't no people down here off the hook and crazy? No, it's still a lot of crazy off the hook people down here. But for the most part, everybody's very nice and pleasant down here. I will say that. What is the biggest difference you've seen between Cali and Louisiana? Well, first of all, these goddamn mosquitoes. I can tell you that right now. These motherfucking mosquitoes. We don't have no mosquitoes like this in California. This is crazy. The weather, for sure, definitely a big difference. Uh, I would actually say the pay structure is not conducive to get rich in the state of Louisiana unless you work for an energy company or I mean one of these parishes that are fleecing their taxpayers on money, um, and they're not getting anything done because it's like the state budget, and it's like, and they're ran by parishes, so the parishes pretty much run where you live. So where you live is going to dictate how you live, as far as like municipals and stuff like that, and levies, and it's different. It's not a place that I would say this. That's a good question, Di. I would say in California, I would say for me, my wife, we live pretty much the same we live now, but it's not as expensive. First of all, let's start right there. But on the daily, we had more options to do things. It living in New Orleans and down here in the Southeast Louisiana, there's not a lot to do. Just me. Like unless you're talking about if you want to be a night person. Now, if you're a night person, then there's a lot to do because there's so many clubs and bars and restaurants and eateries and things of that nature. But if you're a day person, you really only can do a couple things. You can either just do wildlife, meaning fish, hunt, bird watch, whatever you want to do, take long rides, go drive through the swamps and then pull a boat out and go ride a boat around in the swamp, whatever. There's a lot of things you can do in that aspect. But when you get into the swamps and get into the water, like I did a little fishing trip, like there, if the boat flip over, there's alligators in the water. So all these waters are alligator infested. So it makes everything a little bit more dangerous when you're dealing with the wildlife. Whereas in California, you can go to the ocean, lakes, rivers, and stuff like that, and desert, Joshua Tree in San Diego, and then like all kind of places you can go. You can get snow in L.A., Big Bear. You can do a lot of things that's not really that dangerous, I would say. But here, when you start playing with nature out here, there's a lot of things that can get you. So you gotta kind of, what I'm saying, it's a little bit different. There's a lot of things that can bite you and stick you and sting you, and so it's just not that easy. So you need some local information to let you know how to stay safe. So it's not, like I said, weather-wise, it's no comparison, but it's still fun. But it's not, for my age where I'm at right now, it's not a lot to do. But if you're young and if you like the nightlife and stuff like that, you good. You know what I'm saying? You real good. I'm drinking these Heinekens right now. See what we got going on here. Hey, how many people still watching, man? We got still a little crowd. Hey, man, let me tell you something real quick. Man, I'm finding out another thing that YouTube is doing. Y'all better make sure y'all still subscribe to some of y'all favorite YouTubers. You may not even be subscribed, man. I'm hearing people are taking away flat out subscriptions from people, man. This shit is really wild, man. This is wild. He said I'm still here. What's up, bro? I'm in the building. Okay, what's up with the G Money? Echelon Don. I see you over there, Echelon Don. Dr. T. Oh, 20. Okay, Dr. T. We got 20 up in here. But that's one thing that's what's making people not like YouTube, because they actually be hurting the people that got all the information. They want to spread it around for free. It seems like if you charge somebody, they like you. It's crazy. What's up, bro? Si, what's up? What's up with the DIs? Okay, yeah. But that's one thing I don't like about this stuff, man. Like, ain't nobody saying nothing crazy, ain't nobody doing nothing crazy, but they want to sit there and take your little subscriptions away. Whatever, man. I'm still gonna do my thing, and that's why when I get that Taurus TX22, boy, I'm telling you right now. But I just thought about it. So everybody putting the FRT trigger in the Taurus TX22. Is that a setup? Because I'm just thinking like, well, if now they're gonna start going after that because you can put a FRT trigger in it. So you never know where these boys gonna go with this thing, man. But until then, we should still just keep having fun. All right, bro. Have a great night. I'm gonna watch this TV show and crash. Okay, yeah, I heard that. It's only 7 o'clock over here, and I got this little beer left over, so I'm gonna stay on until I finish this beer. But I can guarantee you this: you're gonna see a spike in home invasions coming up in the next 48 to 72 hours. And like I said, I put that video up the other day, and like I said, I didn't even put up all I could have put up, and I tried to put most recent. And what's crazy is that if you saw that one guy said like, man, this is a good neighborhood. None of this stuff happened out here. That's the craziest shit ever right there. When people say like, man, I live in a good community. This don't happen here. I had some Cayman Jack margaritas. I saw you with that little Mike's Red or whatever. Drink one for me. My boy, I heard that for sure. I'm about to cross over in this real quick. About the have y'all seen these right here? I don't know if I can see these. These are Zapp's. Can y'all see that? Man, I had these early today, and I had to buy a second bag just because. This is, I can tell you right now, down here is the snack capital of the fucking planet. Oh yeah, well, first of all, let me make this clear. In San Diego, you gotta go to Chula Vista if you want all the different variety of snacks. When you're in San Diego, it's all kind of gringo. But when you go to Chula Vista, man, you see candy and chips you ain't never seen in your life in Chula Vista. And this is what New Orleans, that's what New Orleans is about. New Orleans is basically a Chula Vista of Louisiana. They got stuff that you don't see on no grocery store shelf, nowhere, everywhere, in no gas station. Tapping in, Famous Adore. What's up with it? Okay, I see you. Dago, Truth, yep. Haven't been there, tripping it. Yeah, San Diego got all kind of chips, because they get a lot of shit from Tijuana, and they just, man, I went to a Taco Bell one time. This ain't no lie. It was in Chula Vista. And you could tell it used to be a Taco Bell, but it wasn't a Taco Bell no more. But it had the same, like, drive-through everything. And when you went up in there, you order whatever you got. It's like they almost didn't even change the menu board. And so if I ordered 3 crispy tacos, and when they came out, it was in white paper with tape around it. And I was like, what is this, man? And he was like, oh, don't worry about it, brother, man. You good, you good. It used to be a Taco Bell. It's our business now. Man, I was like, what? And so I'm like, I ain't about to pull off. I opened that motherfucker up. That motherfucker had 3 crispy hard tacos with cheese. big ass cheddar cheese, all shredded cheddar cheese, guacamole, cilantro, all that. I went, what? I was like, what? We was, my boy got the California burrito. And if y'all know what the California burrito is, basically carne asada, carne asada with French fries, guacamole, sour cream, whatever. Like, it's California burrito anyway. You know, if you're from that, you know. But man, I was like, this shit was bomb. I was like, so they got all kind of spots in Chula Vista, boy. If you ever go to San Diego and you want some good Mexican food, burritos, tacos, enchiladas, I don't give a fuck, empanadas, whatever, motherfucking shit. Man, because when you're in San Diego, you're gonna see some like gringo type shit. You're gonna see like Chipotle and what's the other one they got out there? They got a couple of them out there. They all lame as fuck, but they got a couple spots. But you're gonna have to go to Chula Vista if you really want to get the best Mexican food. Humberto's. Humberto's pretty on 43rd. Yeah, they good. That taco shop. But now I'm just gonna let you know, Humberto's, they fell off because they got so many of them that they flooded the whole area. So you got to go to the right one. But on 43rd, everybody know 43rd for sure. They say Texas too, but I was yet to go try. Yeah, Texas. Yeah, I don't know about Texas. I wasn't impressed with their Mexican food. Shout out to my homeboy Mitchy Slick out in San Diego. Yeah, okay. City Tacos in La Mesa. Man, please. Man, I ain't fucking with no City Tacos. I know who City Tacos is. That ain't on my list at all. Nigga, La Imperial in the Chula Vista over there off the old school by the library. That's the one. The mushroom tacos. Yeah, I don't know about that. Mushroom tacos, I'm good on that one. No, I'm cool. But yeah, man, I'm just rambling right now. But let me get on with something real quick, though. What about Louisiana? I don't know the food, but the people say that they got. Well, okay, vegan shit, bro. Okay, vegan. Okay, I ain't mad at you. Vegan's way to go. I mean, if you want to live, that tofu. That's one thing I like about that tofu. That shit got protein and is good for you. And whatever you put the tofu in, that's what it tastes like. But let me address what homie said, famous Adore. He said something about the food in Louisiana. Now I'm gonna keep this really 100 right here, and I might offend some people, to be honest with you, but I really don't care because brother asked me a question. Man, food in Louisiana, it's all right. Now I ain't saying the whole state. We're talking about New Orleans. Let me particularly just say the city of New Orleans. Per restaurant, in my personal opinion, per restaurant, they don't hold it up. They ain't holding it down that good. Are there some good restaurants in New Orleans? Absolutely. There's some fucking dynamic restaurants in Louisiana. But the best food in New Orleans, no, I keep saying Louisiana, in New Orleans. But the best food in New Orleans is probably out of somebody's house, personal home. And that's 100. That's from your boy. I'm going to say that right now. I'm going to say it again. The best food in New Orleans is probably from somebody's personal kitchen. There's people in the city of New Orleans that know how to cook their freaking ass off. Fucking dynamite greens, best cornbread, best gumbo, best boudin, best charbroiled oysters, best anything you can think of, best shrimp etouffee, anything you can imagine. There's a little old lady or a little old man. Don't matter what the freaking race is. And don't trip off Vietnamese people because Vietnamese have a huge part of New Orleans. So if there's a New Orleans restaurant and you see it right next to a black community or a black neighborhood, whatever, boy, you better take your ass up in there. They know how to cook because the Vietnamese is a huge part of this community. So don't trip off the Vietnamese when you come down to New Orleans. They know how to cook. They know the soul food just as good as any of these motherfuckers down here. Because I had what did I have? This guy at the food truck place the other day. What was he selling? The crawfish crawfish beignets. Man, them motherfuckers was on bang. I was like, what? And yeah, I had to get over the fact it was a Vietnamese dude, but them things was on so point. So point. So yeah, the Vietnamese, they do their own food and they do soul food. They do barbecue, all kind of collard greens. They do all that shit. Their kids go to school with black kids, so they ain't tripping. They might not all get along, but them motherfuckers, they right there with the best chefs in New Orleans for sure. What you got to be careful of, what sucks now here is in the French Quarter, some of the restaurants inside the French Quarter, they ain't good at the real authentic foods. Like, so, like if you want a really really good gumbo when you go to the French Quarter, I mean, you can go to the gumbo shop probably, but most of them are just gonna be, ah, if you want like a shrimp etouffee, if you want cornbread, you ain't gonna get no greens. So you got to go in the uptown, mid city. You got to go outside of the French Quarter to get the really best restaurants. So to answer your question, like, yeah, the food's good here, but it ain't gonna be in the French Quarter. French Quarter is all about drinking, Bourbon Street, liquor, fried chicken wings, fried chicken, charboiled oysters, fried shrimp, po' boys. That's the big ticket in daiquiris and drinks and alcohol and liquor. That's only. Are there good restaurants there? Yeah, pretty good ones, but there's way better ones outside of the quarter for sure. Fried catfish, yeah, there's a lot of fried cat, but they also sell that what is it, the Japanese version of the catfish. It's called swally or something like that, or some shit like that. They sell that too. And then also now, the shrimp boat guys are falling off down here, so the shrimp are all coming from Thailand. And as it says, Louisiana Gulf shrimp. It ain't really from down here. It's a lot, man. We losing a little bit, a nice little piece of our American culture down here. To be honest with you, so if you ain't been down here, this is probably the best time to come down to the New Orleans French Quarter and take a look at it, because it's about to go away. I can see the investors are about to come. They just gonna let all this shit just rot away, and then they're gonna say, "Oh, y'all need us now," and then they're gonna come in and build like super levees and do all the pipes all over again. And they're already doing a lot of this stuff right now. But a lot of the work they do is just like on their leases, like 5 year, 10 years. They're not gonna like fortify it like to last forever. They're not doing that, because the people who are investing, they ain't gonna see the payoff. So come see it while you can, man. And like I said, and then when you bring your kids down here, it doesn't matter what nationality you are. Like before you leave, do a deep dive on New Orleans. Do a deep dive on all the street names, and do a deep dive on the French Quarter, and then when your kids come down here, y'all can have something to talk about and share, and then actually learn and absorb a little bit of the culture. So when you run into an OG door guy over at a hotel that's like 70 years old, and he said he's born and raised in New Orleans, you know, and you can have a conversation with that person, and your kids can probably get educated on something that they probably never would be educated on. But if you just want to come drink, slam some drinks down, walk down Bourbon Street, flash your breast, woo, and all that kind of stuff, go. Oh yeah, I went to the Po' Boy Festival today. Y'all see that? That shit was lit, boy. Y'all see the? Let me see if I can get that up there. Yep, the Oak Street Po' Boy. Y'all see that? The Oak Street Po' Boy Fest. We went there today. And let me tell you the best po' boy there today, and I thought was by Gonzo's Po' Boys. Check them boys out and become New Orleans. They have the cochon. It's basically like a slow roasted pork belly po' boy with pickled jalapenos and cheddar cheese and green onions and like this nice sauce on top on a little French roll. And man, they were good. And then there was another company, but they were just there for charity, which made it even more impressive. They did porchetta. I don't know if y'all know what porchetta is. Like you roll like pork belly with herbs and seasonings and pork loin, roll it and then marinate it. But he sliced it in like big bologna like slices like that, and put it on the Blackstone grill and grilled it up with arugula and red onions and stuff. Woo! Both of them was smashing. But Gonzo won the best po' boy at the Po' Boy Fest last year, so it was no surprise that they were good this year. So we went there today, and that was fun too, man. Yeah. You ever ate alligator? Yeah, I ate alligator. Yeah. And how is it? So alligator, to me, be honest with you, like my wife likes alligator. I'm not a big fan of it, but so there's two ways that most people eat it in Louisiana. They eat it fried or they eat it blackened. So, and then they put sauce on it usually, because they have po' boy, alligator po' boys and stuff like that. And so, yeah, so that's how they eat it. So the texture, for me, when you look at it, when they clean it and skin it and all that stuff, it'll look like catfish almost. To be honest with you, if you ever handle alligator, you know, I've cleaned an alligator before. So this many years ago. So when I was a kid, because my grandma used to, we took us out and we used to hunt alligators, and it ain't really hard hunting. What we would do was just basically, she would take chicken, put it on a big ass hook type thing, and then have a milk jug, cut it in half, and that'll be like the buoy, and then we'll set the traps, so like set them with a rock, whatever, tie a rock to the thing. I'm kind of fucking this whole thing up, but basically that's what we would do, and we'll set like all around the little swamp area by the little ravine, and then we'll come back, and then they'll be hooked onto it in their jaw, and then we'll pull the rope up. Like, you got to leave hella rope, and you got to pull the rope up, and then when you pull it, sometimes you know, be careful, because if it's a big one, it could jerk you into the water and you done. But then you pull the rope up, and then my grandma had a 22 and like pop, shoot him on top of the head. And then he said, "Boys, grab that thing, grab him. And then we'll have to grab the fucking alligator on the boat, man. It was crazy, man. We did that shit when we were young, man. But anyway, the meat looks like catfish. If you want to be on like a big ass catfish and you chop it up, and you can do it all however you want, nuggets, slices, fillets, you can do whatever. And then you just basically season like you would anything else, and then roll it in some cornmeal or flour or whatever you're gonna do, and deep fry that shit in little nuggets and little balls, and you can make a sandwich out of it, whatever, or just eat it like that with some like sriracha sauce or whatever. Eat it like that, and then you can blacken it, and you put the blackening seasoning on there, and you put it on a flat pan or grill, and just sear it all up real good. And that's how my wife likes it. And you eat it like that. But the texture is trippy, because what it's going to remind you of. So imagine a pork loin, you know, a decent pork, not an over dried out, cooked out pork loin, and a chicken breast, not an over dried out, overcooked chicken breast, and you put them together, and that's going to be your texture of an alligator. So you can imagine if you overcook it, it's going to be hella dry and hard. But you can imagine if you cook it kind of tender and moist, it could be kind of, you know, it'd be a nice bite to it. But it's dense meat. It's dense. It's not like fluffy meat. You know what I'm saying? It's very dense. And like I said, if you overcook it, it's a problem for sure. But you can fry the shit out of it, though. That's how most people like it down here in New Orleans. They like fried alligator. That's what they do. You seen some of those gator chips in the store the other day. I had a bunch of the other stuff I passed, but when I got back, I'm going to try them. I heard that, yeah. But yeah, man, yeah, it's a lot of crazy ass food. Frog legs and turtle soup. That's a big one down here. There's a lot of different things, man. You know, the South is cool, man. There ain't nothing wrong with the South, for real. But man, let me talk about this little Glock V series. How many people we got left up in here? Ain't that many, huh? Hit that like button. But the V series, man, everybody keep thinking. Well, I don't know why people think I'm gonna buy a V series Glock. That's never gonna happen, bro. I'm not Twin Gens. What's up with it, bro? I'm not buying old Glock V series. I don't. That's crazy to me. And just for the record, I'm going good, man. It's going good, Twin Gen. But just for the record, the V series to me, one of my biggest thing is this. I don't think that the gun is even different. In far as like being able to not put the little switchy thing on the thing, that's a Dremel away. I saw the makeup of it. They can, the bad guy. This is what makes this whole thing stupid. And this is why I really believe that Glock is getting paid to actually eliminate their series. They're not going to lose any money, in my personal opinion, is because of this. Their biggest buyer is the feds and municipals and countries military outfits. They make way more money on those entities than they do from the public sector. Now, if you're talking about Canik and Smith & Wesson and Ruger and all of them, they make a whole bunch of money on the public market. Glock makes a shit ton of money on feds, on military outfits, and police departments, and war. Guys that are out there battling. Stop. Let's be honest with you. They not really gonna lose no money. So everybody's saying they're gonna lose money. Where are they gonna lose money at? All they gonna do is release this stupid ass V series, and they did this intentionally. It looks like to me to send a shot to them to say like, okay, well we'll just do this now. Technically, you can't put a switch on it, but the reality matter is the bad guys always have been modifying. If you talk to anybody that knows anything about firearms or even automobiles, there's guys who like tweak carburetors out to where they can get better gas mileage or they can get more air through the. Come on, man. Anybody who wants to make something better is going to take your product and they're going to tweak it and they're going to make it to how they really want to run it. And this ain't no difference. This V series, all that's a Dremel away. I ain't gonna say what to do or how to do it because I don't want you two striking me. But I can guarantee you, it's a Dremel away, and that a switch can be on that new series. But the point is that Glock said we gonna just put it out where we're saying you can't do it. They not the first company that own a fucking firearm that somebody had it fully auto. You know how many fully auto weapons have been on the market for years and decades? This is a fucking money grab. This is a whole hoax. I'm not gonna say Glock is bullshit in the general public, but what I'm saying is that the whole energy behind that they don't want the bad guys to have fully automatic weapons. That's a joke because they've been having them for decades. They've been having them before Glock even launched their pistol in '82. There are already fully automatic weapons on the market for the bad guys. Bad guys been doing this. So all this stuff is to generate energy for the politicians to say like, yeah, we shut that shit down, and then they can get votes off that. I was the one that legislated to get the Glock to change this, and whatever. But they don't get it twisted, guys. Glock didn't lose no money on this. If anything, they kind of gain a couple of dollars because what happens is now they're not, you can't sue the same person twice. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, I did what you said, so now and you approved it now, and now it's in your hands. So like, stop. This is a complete joke. I'm not even anybody gonna run out impulsively buying Glocks. You are out of your mind, dude. And here's the thing. They say November 30th they're gonna stop manufacturing them. How many have they already manufactured? And how many are in circulation that can still be it's a complete overhyped thing. That's why I say I don't think there's no way Glock would have done this if they were taking an L. Now, if they would have tried to fight this thing, probably legally, we don't even know what the legal fight is. But the point is, if they would have tried to fight this thing, they certainly could have ran up against a motherfucker that could have probably taken a couple billion out of their bank account. So they didn't want to take a LL, but they were not worried about taking a huge L. No way. Mm-mm. And now looking at the V series, it looks exactly the same. Not sure Glock used a situation to hype more. Yeah, I think allegedly handling firearms on live stream. I did nothing of the sort. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm just simply saying that like the lawsuits are real, but I'm just saying I don't think that they buckled like oh y'all got me, I got to do this. I think they kind of was like, okay, cool, y'all helped us out because their guns are still basically primarily it's a war tool. It was never designed for EDC. It wasn't designed for open carry on a range. It wasn't designed for none. It was designed for a combat soldier or a law enforcement agent. It was not ever designed for some dude named Stevie who live in Wichita, Kansas, and he plays Call of Duty, and now he wants to own a Glock 19 so he can stand in the mirror and act like he a tough guy. And that's what it's dissolved to. It's like now anybody can own a Glock, and anybody wanted a Glock. Everybody wanted a Glock, and everybody got a Glock. So they know who their market base is. They know that most of the people that they need to sell the guns to are the military, and they don't have restrictions. So this whole thing of like, think about this for a second. The Glock 47 was created because of Homeland Security, Border Patrol agents, Customs. They never even would have made the fucking gun. They came to them and said, "Look, you need to make us a gun where we can have some slides that are interchangeable, or we gonna go to SIG or whatever." But the fact that the SIG had that big ass problem with the P320 or the M18, M17, they had SIG under their foot. They were like, oh, so now y'all coming back, and so that's what they made the Glock 47 for customs. Glock has always been ahead of the time. People say they're not innovative. Who does all these conversion barrels? Who does all this slide interchangeable stuff? No, they don't do They don't do trigger group changing too much, but for the most part, their innovation is enough. They don't need to over innovate. They got all these fucking companies behind their back making all the products that makes the gun better. They don't even have to do it. So
Hi.
that's pretty good. Oh, my daughter's over here. What's going on, please?
I'm heading out.
Okay, let me get a hug.
Bye.
I love you.
Love you too.
I'll drive safe.
We will.
All right. Yeah, that's my daughter. Yeah, she over here. But yeah, man. But yeah, they don't have to really do nothing gimmicky to generate no sales. Man, people still want their hands. All this is gonna do is make people want it even more. It's the same old message. If you can't beat us, join us. You know what I'm saying? And I think what's crazy, all these companies that built their company off the Gen 3 platform, they might have to just scrap that whole plan too, because if you built your company off the Gen 3 platform, you can put a switch on it, which means that you're gonna have to take that thing back to the lab and recreate another one, because they're gonna come after you next. They can't just pick on one. They're gonna have to come for everybody who got that Gen 3 platform. But Glock already got 1,000 fucking million Gen 3s on the public market already, so it's gonna be interesting to see, man. It's gonna be interesting to see what we got here, man. Not sure how long, but yeah, man, I'm gonna let y'all get up out of here, man. I ain't gonna hold y'all too long. I just want to ramble a little bit, man. You know, Sunday night fun. You know, talk about a few things. I'm just blessed to have everybody who support my channel, and you know, I ain't, like I said, I'm just a regular guy just trying to have a good time. Like I said, I don't like how this YouTube thing going, but you know, it is what it is. Anybody who has a channel, they know what I'm talking about. They do a lot of weird shit, and so, you know, I'm gonna still keep doing my thing. I got a couple things coming. I got our Ramjet coming this week. I really love the Ramjet. I mean, I'm gonna do a whole nother thing on that. But boy, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm really impressed with that little Ramjet, boy. Maybe because I'm old or whatever. I don't know what it is, but that thing really keeps the gun down. And all the guns I got them on, they perfect. It's almost, they designed this thing for these Glock guns, and so it's gonna be nice, man. I need a quarter zip. You need a quarter zip. Would you better go find your dispensary? That's all I'm saying. Yeah, blessings, fam. Yeah. Did you try the Ranger bands? Oh yeah, I saw those the big ones you were saying, and I ordered them. But they ain't here yet. They were $16, and they were the nice size. I saw what you saying. Yeah, that's something that I'm gonna look into. I like that better than all that tape. So I'm waiting for those to come in, and I'm gonna test those out too. But I did take your lead on that one though. Lee, I got you on that one. You need bruh, like whatever. But yeah, man, yeah, I got those Ranger bands. I'm gonna check that out, because like I said, I don't want to put the Talon grips on there, and I don't want to do the handling grips, man. I just want some texture, man. You know what I'm saying? Just something a little grippy. And I like the rubber band. I always like those rubber sleeves for some reason. Those little cheap rubber sleeves. I don't know. Something about them little $6 things. Them things work better than all that shit they sell. I mean, you're right. Those are rubber band things. Them things is really, it handles the sweat, all that stuff. But yeah, man, I'm gonna get back with y'all later, man. And y'all stay safe, man, and stay blessed, man. Peace.